Welcome back to Miller's in Motion. We are so excited because you just saw one of the biggest upgrades we ever did, and that being our independent suspension.
Yes, something we were looking forward to for a very long time.
But in addition to that independent suspension, we just said, Morryde, go crazy.
That's right. We understand the value of their products. We had several of them on our previous rig, and we were really ready to put them onto this guy too.
So we got to pick and choose some things that we wanted to put on our coach that we thought would help us out in our day-to-day lives. So let's dive into it, I guess.
All right, to show you some of those products and talk about them, let's head back to Morryde in Indiana with the pros.
Welcome back. We have made our way into the showroom here at Morryde, which, by the way, how much extra sales do you get when people come in for one thing and they just say, here's the credit card, just add that.
We have a box by the door that can just drop it in. We'll take it.
Throw cash in it, and whatever you get to, we'll throw on. This is Hayden. So Hayden, what do you do here for Morryde?
Yeah, so I'm the service manager here.
And we're at the Elkhart location, and this is where you come. If you're gonna have the IS install, spoiler, that's the next video, this is where you come, and they have this really cool showroom where they get to show off all these fun things that they build. So if you don't mind, let's talk about some of your bread and butter stuff that you guys do. So obviously this is a replica of the entryway of a door to an RV.
Yeah.
These look pretty familiar.
Yep. So this is our Gen 2 step above. With this product, the name Gen 2 leads you to believe there might be a Gen 1, which is the case. So we've made a couple of upgrades. The steps aren't entirely, they haven't been around forever. They've been around since about 2016.
Really?
So in that time, we've got a lot of feedback from customers, and we try to make a better product. So that's what led us to this. A couple things that we have done different. So we made a deeper top step, so you have more of a landing when you're coming out. Another adjustment that we've made is the legs now deploy from the rear of the channel versus the front, so they're not apt to be out front. So we have less of a tripping hazard with the legs. One of the biggest and most easiest selling points that we have on these steps is the fact that we did away with the pins. So the pins that adjust your legs are now gone. So if we lift this up, we're gonna see that there are these silver tabs. These silver tabs are what you use to retract the leg. So if you wanna retract the leg, you would press the tab, slide it down. Let's say we get to a campsite and we're uneven. Yeah, so all you have to do is pull the leg down to where you want it, and then you're set up, you're ready to rock. You're not fighting the pins or anything like that.
I'm not gonna lie, on our previous coach, we had the Gen 2 on our Solitude, and I didn't know that's how you did that.
Yep.
I always adjusted them up here and put them down and then just played with them on the ground.
Sure.
That seems easier.
Yep. Yep. So yeah, this is also a strut version, so it makes it a lot easier to lift and lower. These can be heavy. We've got a lot of different variations of this that don't have the strut as well. Both are nice products for different reasons.
All right, very cool on the stairs. So I am noticing that you don't have like a traditional handle here, but...
Yeah, so that's our safety rail.
Okay.
This product replaces the flip over style rail. Yep. Pulls out and then straight down. Just like that. So it's made to be more of a residential style railing.
Right.
So you would have a place to grab all the way up and all the way down the stairs versus having to let go on the third step and hoping for the best.
So where a normal rail, just a standard rail, where does it normally end?
Typically it's about right here.
Oh, wow. Okay.
First step.
Yeah.
First step.
Whereas this comes down all the way to the
bottom.
I mean, literally, it's like you guys engineered this way. It ends at the end of the stairs.
Yep.
It's amazing when you get products from the same company, how they just match like that. And then to put it back, you just... you just slide it. I gotcha.
Yep, and then down.
So then, what's holding it here?
So we have a magnet that's placed right here.
Oh, I see now. Okay, that's what that is.
We also have these back plates here, and this will cover up the existing holes from your old system. And then it just magnets, holds it right there.
Very cool.
Keeps it flush when you're going down the road.
Cool.
Yeah.
And we're getting these on our coach.
Yeah, you're gonna love them. Yeah. Then on the door here, we have another product. So this is what we call our latch extender. What this product does is it allows me to open the door from a lower point. So I can open it from ground level or from a lower step, so I'm not walking all the way up.
I got you.
Opening the door.
So you got too much stuff in your hands.
Doing the dance.
Dogs, whatever.
Yep.
You can just kind of get the pinky up there and get it to open.
Yep.
Gotcha. Very cool. Now the only down for us is because we have a glass door, there really isn't an option quite yet because typically you don't want to drill through glass. I don't know who came up with that, but there are starting to see some glass doors, so hopefully there's going to be some version of, I don't know, 3M the crap out of it to a door. Because that's something that my wife would like because, again, shorter people,
Sure.
typically shorter arms.
Yep.
She would like that.
Yeah.
Too bad we have glass doors. So I am just kind of moving over here.
Yeah.
So I've seen this
Yep.
before. So obviously this is for a coach. It's a bracing system that will help you stabilize the rear end that just fits into your receiver hitch, right?
That's correct. So so this product is what we call a rear mount hitch stabilizer. So what this does, why this was developed was between the rearmost jack of the trailer and the back of the coach is somewhere between 8 and 14 feet of unstabilized area. So you can get a lot of sway, especially if you have like a rear kitchen or you spend a lot of time in the rear of the coach. This product is an excellent option for that. It really does a good job at keeping everything stable.
This I've seen a couple of times now, but these, I've seen versions of it, but probably not y'all. So what's going on with these top two or the middle two?
So we'll start here. This product is used if you have the scissor jack style landing gear. All we're doing is we're adding lateral support. So these do a great job at keeping the unit from bouncing, but it can still sway. So these lock everything down, so it's less apt to sway. These are great on travel trailers. A lot of cargo trucks, like food trucks and stuff, use them.
So for this, because obviously this has manual jacks on it, this is in simulating the front of the coach?
Both front and rear.
Okay, but the front and the back, not the sides?
Correct.
Okay.
Yep.
Because that would be really long.
Yep. And then this one is for if you had the electronic front landing gear. Those are notorious for being really shaky. A lot of people will use like the tripod you'll see them put in the front. Those are big, they're bulky, they're a pain to carry around, set up, and all that stuff. This stays on all the time. It just retrofits on, and then it would stay on all the time. You just lock it in place once you get it
and then
down.
Will that also work? Because I noticed you have the electronic square version of the jacks. Will also work on a hydraulic jack?
We've got a hydraulic version coming soon. So it's going to look very similar to this, just it'll mount to the hydraulic jacks.
Gotcha. So same idea, just mounting slightly differently.
Yep.
Very cool. So probably one of the bigger things you're known for is this guy right here.
Yep.
Which is
the pin box.
You'd be staggered, and I don't mean this in any wrong way, but you'd be staggered by the amount of people that don't understand a kingpin versus a goose conversion, how it actually works and all those things. And so this is, and I can tell you, we've had this on our Solitude. We played with other versions of kingpins. We've never tried the gooseneck thing because I've towed other trailers and they've come off and no, thank you. It just makes me nervous when it's like a 20,000-pound toy hauler behind me versus a 7,000-pound gooseneck flatbed trailer or something. But I'll always stay with a kingpin. But this is super unique. So if you don't mind talking about it.
So we're using a rubber spring. So there's a rubber spring on the inside of here. This top piece and this bottom skid plate are actually traveling. So you're going to get 3 inches of fore and aft travel, 1.5 inches side to side. What that does is it's going to give you a cushioned ride in the cab. So your truck and your trailer are not fixed. So like I'll use this example. Let's say we're going down the road, we hit a bridge transition. Every time the truck moves, the trailer's right with it. And vice versa. With this, you've got cushion, so it's actually able to float. Rubber does a great job at dampening shock and energy. So it's going to give you a much smoother ride in the cab.
So we tested a different product that almost felt like the trailer floated in the back. I didn't like it because I got zero feedback from the coach itself. The reason why I actually took theirs off. Tried that and actually put theirs back on because this did a really good job of dampening everything that Hayden just said. But I still had a little bit of feedback in the truck. So that I could tell if something was going on in the back. This whole, I don't want to feel the coach thing, trust me, you want to, and for starters, if you have a huge coach, you're going to feel it, and let's be honest. But you want a little bit of feedback. It's just like anything else. If something's really wrong back there and you can feel it in the steering wheel, you have a little bit more urgency to stop versus if you have that disconnection, you may not feel little things going on back there until it's a big thing, assuming you don't have a TPMS system or something else going on, which you should. But yeah, I've really enjoyed having it to the point where I took it off and put it back on. And our coach does not come with the OEM of our new Valor doesn't come with this, and we are adding that on, and that was almost a requirement when we were talking to you guys. Almost as important as anything else in this showroom for me. That's up there. So we'll just keep walking and just keep rolling. So real quick, we're just going to say this is probably the stuff that you guys are most known for. Independent suspension, CRE 3000, the Alltrek 4000 suspension systems. We are going to do a whole video on this stuff next week, so make sure and come back next week where we're wearing the same thing and we're talking about suspensions.
So we're going to get into the cord reels.
Sorry, my bad.
on. So this would be our power reel. This holds 30 foot of 50 amp cord. It's obviously power. You just experienced that. So it's on a push button. The end of the cord just slides right into one of these openings, and then you would just feed it as it's rolling, and then you would just feed it in back and forth until it's all the way into the reel.
Okay.
So we have another option. So this one is what we call our tall reel. This is a manual version. You have to crank it, but it holds 50 foot of 50 amp cord, which is kind of nice. So if you're in a hurry, you don't have to be quite as precise.
Right.
A lot of people carry like a 40, 45 foot cord.
Right.
Some people carry 30, and that's fine too. You can also use these both options for water. So if you want to put your water hose in there, you can.
Gotcha.
It'll hold a lot of water hose.
I was about to say, probably a couple hundred feet.
Yeah, yeah. So
Because you think a 50 amp cable's about like that big around, give or take, at least a normal one.
Yeah.
And a water hose is about like that and collapses. So.
Yep. Yeah, so that's the biggest difference between the two. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, very cool. We had this in our Solitude because it comes, the upper Solitudes come with it as a standard. What we did is I actually bought a secondary main cable, and it was just enough to run to a generator that was in the bed of my truck because we had a huge solar system on it and everything. So I had a backup generator, so if we were ever towing and didn't unhook, I could get to there. But it was nice and short. I actually coiled that and threw it in somewhere, and I left a extension on this because it was a much longer cable.
Yeah.
And so because we get to campgrounds, and normally we're like 10, 15 feet away from the pedestal, but every once in a while, if you're not 10 feet from the pedestal, you're always at least 75.
Yeah.
It's one or the other. And so we always kept a really long extension on it, and that would just work for us, and then a smaller cable that is coiled and tossed next to it. So
yeah.
Now, I know that there's a few of these throughout, but we'll just talk about this one. But this is something else you guys see a lot of in coaches now.
Yeah, so we've got a lot of different trays. The sliding trays are so nice for these cargo bays. They're so large, they're so deep. It's hard to get something out of the back without unloading the whole thing.
Right.
So that's the whole idea behind these, is to bring things out to you. We've got trays that extend both directions. We have trays that extend one way. We have trays that go out of the front of the coach for generators and all kinds of stuff.
So literally, if you think you might want to put it on a tray, they probably have that tray for you.
Yes.
So,
Yep.
And if they don't, ask them. They might make it.
Yeah.
Okay, probably not. So probably the thing you're least known for, but you guys offer a lot of TV mounts.
Yeah, so we've got a lot of different configurations. The nice thing about the Morryde brackets, every single one of these is going to have a locking mechanism on it. So the most common is this plunger style. So for example, when we're ready to leave, we're not relying on friction or a strap to hold it in place.
Right.
We're actually going to be able to go ahead and lock it in place. So we know it's not going to move when we're going down the road. But we've got a lot of different brackets doing different things,
right?
Which is super nice. It's a lot of versatility there for different areas.
And if you followed us for any period of time, you know that I installed one of these. Actually, it's around the corner because it was an outdoor TV that I put on a slide out and then it pivoted out. And I think I told you guys when I first saw him, like I knew that Morryde was a quality product when I picked the box up. And I had to put it back down and figure out how I was going to get it up there because it's just so heavy duty that I had to support everything. But yeah, if you need a TV mount, I guarantee they probably have a version of it for you.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, we had a lot of fun at Morryde checking out all their products and learning about new ones, speculating about what may be coming in the future, and many thanks to Hayden and the crew up there for all of that. Now let's introduce you to some of the upgrades we've made. Starting up front with one of the most important things is the rubberized pin box. Like I said, we had this on our previous rig, we understood the value of it, and we were really ready to put this onto our beautiful Valor. The benefit to a pin box like this is that it has a rubber shear spring inside, so you actually get some shock absorption front to back up to 3 inches per the website, and side to side up to 1.5 inches. That's not something you're going to find on other types of pin boxes, and that really dampens the shock that's transferred to the vehicle. This plus the IS that we put on makes for the smoothest available towing experience and the least wear and tear on my husband.
And the RV.
And the RV, yes. So, but while we are up here, let me show you something else that we didn't know that we really needed. Haha. No, not Frisbees, but that's okay. So this is their cord keeper. This is a very simple, very inexpensive tool that we have really appreciated, I guess. You don't have to leave your cords just hanging down anymore. The pets don't get in them, the kids don't get in them, the weather doesn't get there, and you don't just wrap them up and shove them anywhere and risk damage to it. So let's kind of show you how that's used.
All right, so because I'm the one that does this most of the time, in a nutshell, what the cord reel does is you literally just take this, it snaps up right there, and then this piece goes in just like that. And then it is exactly what you think. It's a reel at that point. You pretty much just start winding her up. And it kind of keeps everything nice and tight and out of the way. Again, I didn't even know I needed this, but it's awesome that we have it now. Just like that. And then I normally just take that little guy and kind of the same thing. Just one little loop on that. And now everything's up and out of the way.
All right, moving on down the coach, we have our safety rail. You'll notice that we took off that big bulky handle and put this in place. This comes down to the end of the stairs, so you always have something to grab a hold on for somebody who is clumsy like myself. And so we really appreciate the safety factor with that, but we also like how clean it is. And whenever the door closes and you get ready for travel, it's this easy. Up and down. Just like that, it doesn't block the door and you barely even notice it there. And it's also super easy to bring back out. Ta-da! All right, moving on to the stairs. You'll see we have our motion lights here. We haven't put those in because we haven't been home for a hot minute in order to do so. But we do plan to put those on for safety, trying to get the dogs in and out whenever it's dark, but also just ourselves coming home. We would really appreciate that. And that way you don't have to put on all of the big lights in order to see the stairs well. And again, not trip over them.
So to go along with the safety rail and obviously the thing that the motion lights are attached to is the step above steps. We used another company's version of these, and I can tell you that I was actually expecting something like this, and they were actually completely different. The reason why I like these so much is because they're completely assisted. So when they pull up or down, it's as simple as just a little bit of a pull. The other stairs we used would fall to almost a 45 right about there, and then the hydraulic would kick in. So the fact that these are hydraulic assisted the whole way through goes a long way. It actually scared me the first time I used the other ones because they fell towards me and I thought I was about to get whacked in the head. So another thing that I really like about these stairs is the footprint on the interior of the coach. That little hydraulic thing is like half the size of the other one. So, and they're nice and lightweight. In addition to that, no matter where you're at, you can always extend these by just a push of a button, and that's about it. And then they lock into place. So they're super easy to use, and they're good, solid stairs if you level them correctly, like I did not just do.
All right, moving back towards the rear of the coach, you can see we put another safety rail back here on that rear entrance that goes to the toy hauler space, because like we mentioned so many times, we were hoping that my mom can come on some of our trips, and if this is essentially going to be her bedroom when she's with us, if she needed to come in and out, we only wanted the best for her. So of course we put one of these on. All right, moving back this way, we have the Morryde air compressor, which did come standard on our Alliance Valor.
So in addition to the kind of things that came with our Alliance Valor from Morryde that we didn't know we loved so much is actually the ZeroG ramp door. The reason why we like it so much is because it's an assisted drop, so it doesn't matter. We can both be individually here. It works kind of cool because there's a key right here. When you turn it, there's an electronic click that happens above, and then it just kind of pushes the door out a little bit, and then it comes, you can pull it the rest of the way down. You hear the click. It comes out a little bit, and that is literally it. And yes, our site is super unlevel and really tall, and then you have our full patio, and you can see where the cable in the back. If we wanted to lower this into a loading situation, we would just undo this cable and then go back up. So I'm gonna put it back up because I'm letting all our air conditioning out. All right, well, a big thanks to Hayden back up at Morryde for taking us around the showroom and showing us everything on the lineup.
All the things.
And I'm incredibly happy with all the things we added to our coach, including the independent suspension. Mm-hmm. If you didn't see that video, it was literally the one right before this, so I will link it at the end here and you can go back and watch that one as well. But if you are interested in any of these products, you can use our code down below. There's a link down there, and then our code is just Miller7. You can save on a lot of these accessories. You can save 7% off plus free shipping.
That's right.
So that's going to do it for us, I think.
Yes, and until next time, bye, Mom.